right, next we have a special presentation from Tanner Lacey, who is the co-founder of Spiff and the head of revenue at Sendoso. Woo! Tanner! I'm going to ask Tanner questions while we're getting started, okay? All right, Tanner, tell us, why do you like Sendoso, first of all?
Sendoso? It's, we send gifts, you know, not that bad.
Who doesn't like gifts, right? And you get a gift, and you get a gift. That's right. And then tell us a little bit about how you got started in this industry.
Industry in tech?
Yeah.
I was lucky. I thought I wanted to be a consultant when I grew up, when I was in school, you know, like everyone did, because that was cool. I went and got help with my case study interviews with a friend named Jaron, Paul. He was helping me out and then sat me down and said, if you want to do this, this is great, or I have this idea. And then I fell into tech, so that's how it worked out.
All right, awesome. Take it away.
Thank you. All right, so the title of this presentation, I think originally was like, you get a gift and you get a gift, but every time I try to copy Oprah, it doesn't work out very well for me. So I switched it up. We're gonna talk about breaking through digital fatigue. Goal here is to walk out with the tactical 1, 2, 3 things that you can potentially apply. I'm going to go through some things here that worked for me, working for my team, that have been good for me in my career. Nothing novel, things that most of you do all the time, but it's becoming more and more important. Couple of disclaimers. One, you're going to see Sendoso logos all over this thing. This is not a pitch. I'm going to try not to talk about this. Everything I talk about can be done manually with different tools, etc. I will not pitch slap you here. I won't pitch slap you after you leave. You're safe, I promise. So, first things first, like, who am I? You know, like, why should I be talking here? I'm a dad to 3.95 kids. The 0.5 is my wife is due next week, so we're getting that close. If I look at my watch and run off stage, I promise it's not because I'm scared. So, yeah, for everyone who's not from Utah, I know it's crazy from everyone from Utah. I'm just trying to keep up, so be patient with me. So, currently head of sales at Sendoso. Previously, like, the biggest notch in my belt, right, was a co-founder at Spiff there from day one, all the way to the acquisition from Salesforce, which was an awesome ride. I'm a washed up golfer, and then I'm a wannabe triathlete, mostly so I can eat whatever I want. As you can see, it's still not working out super good for me. So all that said, like, what makes me a little bit different, I think, in this role is I actually came up through sales a little bit non-traditional. I didn't start as an SDR and then go to an AE and then a leadership role. I actually started as a product person and an operator at Spiff. And so when we actually had a product that was ready to go, I didn't really come with a playbook. I had to figure it out. And something that I noticed was that there's different ways to stand out, especially when I was not the best seller in the room. I was not the best marketer at the table. And I learned a lot from that, and I think I got a unique perspective because of that. And in reality now, the way that customers have buy has changed, and you're all seeing that. You know, and you got to find different ways to stand out. Buyers don't just want speed, they want it to also be meaningful. The snippets don't work anymore, if you guys have noticed. So it's unless they actually put the snippet there on purpose to catch your attention. That's clever. At least it was the first time. And then it was, you know, thoughtful context. But here's the thing: is AI has made everyone better, which means no one's getting better. The AI tide has risen all the boats and kayaks in the bay. You know, so it's time to find ways to stand out. And what's happening here is we're getting digital fatigue across the, sorry, keeping my notes up here with the slides. Digital fatigue across the pipeline. So anyone else seen posts like this? I thought this one was funny. I don't personally write like that, but that's how I feel most of the time. It's just too loud. 11 pitches a day. I actually counted today. I've received 4 cold calls. One was about 2 minutes before I got up here. I had 3 LinkedIn pitches I woke up to this morning and 6 marketing emails in my inbox. I filter that out now. I'm sure most of you do. It's getting noisy. And everyone else remember when ads were creative and fun, and you know, when it followed you around, you thought that was interesting? That's gone too. Right, funny experience recently. If anyone here knows Anna Fisher, she was the CMO at Spiff. She's a close friend. Recently left Spiff Salesforce to go work at Customer. So when I saw the news, I looked at Customer on the website. I sent her a text, said congrats, and then I continued to get a phone call. I got emails, and then one morning I woke up, I was listening to a speech on YouTube, and I got an ad from Customer. So I sent her a text, told her to leave me alone. Anyone else getting this? Right? Like this is what's happening now, and it's loud. And so the way to get around this and the way to break through this digital fatigue is omnichannel. Skip one slide. But like, essentially, we're hitting this fatigue, but nothing's actually dead. All right, so we're seeing a decrease. Hot take here: when people say that like something is dead on LinkedIn, I scroll past it pretty quick because I don't agree with that. Things have always been changing. It used to be not going to offices used to be dead, right? I see Pete go to everyone's office with a donut, or a box of crumble or whatever he's doing. And like that used to be going away, right? It was going to go to phones and emails. Everything changes. And so what's happening, though, is with AI, you have to change faster. You have to be more on your toes. You have to find more ways to stand out. And now digital alone won't move that needle. Like gone are the days when you could just call, you could just email, and you could work that revenue equation and get it all done. So the way that we do this, right? Sorry, I'm missing this one right here. This was a McKinsey study. I'm not just making this up. 10 channels is the average touches right now that it takes to actually, that someone's seeing in their buyer journey. It's crazy. Like, it's just getting more crowded. You have to surround this customer, but once you surround them, it's tricky, right? It's just getting harder and harder to buy, and to sell. Sorry, that's what we're talking about. And the way that I think you get there is you have to bank through human connection. You have to be able to build human connection throughout the process as you're selling. So how do we do that, right? So there's a lot of different ways to do this. I'm going to talk about 4 that have been working for me that I believe in. These aren't the only tried and true ways. I'm going to walk through some things that we're doing that I think are doing that. We're going to talk about in-person events. I'm going to talk about gifting. We're going to talk about the importance of multi-threading and account planning. And then we're also going to talk about warm introductions and leveraging your networks. So first things first, events, they're back. This is dinners. This is everything when you're in person. It's growing like crazy. This is a huge industry. I can't believe it's still growing as much as it is. We spent over 60% of our marketing budget this quarter on this. We did 20 dinners this last quarter. It is our highest producing channel currently at Sendoso, and it's growing like crazy. It's going to get bigger. People like to be in person. If you want to break through digital noise, just switch out the noise of your emails to wine glasses and the little clicker wheels at the trade show floor, right? Sorry, we're running a little on time, so I'm going to fly through these. I can send this deck out to anyone who wants this and the sources after. Gifting works. This is not a pitch. Again, you can do gifting in a whole bunch of different ways. It can be physical, it can be digital, experiences, whatever. This was done by a third party. This was not done by my team. But including gifts and thoughtful outbound emails can actually increase the meeting rates by 3x. Win rates double almost to 2x with thoughtful gifting. And then this one's huge for me and something that I believe in very seriously, I guess, is boost call rates by 6x if you go ahead and you gift after that first call. So finding ways people respond to it, it stands out, it's physical, it's something you can touch, or it's experience that you have, that's a game changer for you. Anyone here ever multi-threaded a deal? Right, this is not novel, this is something we all do. The difference is it's becoming more and more important to multi-thread your smaller deals. You're going now from like a pretty traditional enterprise model where you have 13, 15, 18 decision makers or stakeholders. Now your mid-market and SMBs are oftentimes having up to 8 inside of there. And so you have to do this. This is a non-negotiable for my team, and it's made a huge difference. I'll walk you through some things here in a second. One great example, I worked with the centralized team to build this. They see if you have 3 personas and 1 greater than a VP engaged, you can see up to a 5 to 9x from their customer base as far as win rates go. And warm intros are gold. I know everyone here believes that referrals, warm intros work. It is insane to me when I'm advising on my team, et cetera, how many people wait until the end of a deal for warm intros and referrals. If you can get this earlier, you convert higher, you stand out, it's a way to break through the noise because you have more people on your team, you're threading. All right, so what's working for us? These plays, first off, I did not create these with ChatGPT, as you guys will see. I wanted to be authentic here, right? Don't make fun of me as far as my artwork. But you're going to see a couple things we're doing. Again, I have the vendors that we're using in here. I used to not include these, but usually that's the first question people ask me is what tools I'm using. It's not a pitch. There's no referral revenue in this for me, but just so you guys can see what we're using. Also, I know that these are not just the only thing that's happening that's producing these results. So first off is, again, I talked about this. We have a non-negotiable for account mapping inside my team. So when the second something comes in, we use centralized to map that out. And from there, the first thing we look for is warm intros. We look on our execs, advisors, investors to see if we have anyone to talk through. And then we also work off a 3-2-1 methodology where we have at least three contacts, 2 departments, 1 champion. And then we do always push for at least 1 to 2 ATL contacts inside of there. We've been rolling this out over about the last year where we've gotten much more strict on this. We have seen an increase of 7% on our win rates and then about 6% in our ACVs. So again, lots of things going into this. I have an incredible team, but this has been a material piece of that. Internal playbook for champion tracking intent. We use user gems and Mad Kudu for champion tracking and different intent signals. We roll them into a sequence, and we actually have a manual step where we do a personalized gift. This is where we're going in and we're looking on their LinkedIn, other socials, we're making guesses, we have different tools to do that, and we're sending out a gift as part of this sequence. We did a test of this with user gems where we did 2,000 emails. We saw a 20% reply rate and 1 million in pipeline over 90 days with this play. And then this is my best artwork here, as you guys can see. So next one is sidecar events at dinners. I talked about how events in person were not just going to trade shows. Trade shows are great. I love trade shows. Super effective for us. But what we've actually been doing the most of is more intimate in-person events and dinners. We've been partnering with people, and when we do this, we've created a play that's been working well for us. We pull geo-specific lists and intent lists for people who are in that area. After the invites, we have, like, on the way to the event, we don't do actually both of these gifts here. It's either kind of one or the other. First, and we do this a lot for dinners, especially more like maybe broad dinners. We'll send an Uber gift card, or we'll have our partner send an Uber gift card and say, hey, we want everyone to get there safe or get home safely. It's super easy, really cheap. People love that. It's a super high converting action for us for pipeline. We do also make sure we use Mobley. A shout out to the Mobley team here. We do make sure we also use them for event capture. If we're going to be at that event, we're investing in that. Take notes. Make sure you know what you've got. And then depending on this, we oftentimes also include a follow-up gift. Again, personal experience, whatever. Takeaways here, and I know I'm at time, is relevance over reach. You got to find ways to stand out, make sure that you're resonating with the people you're talking to, and it's built off of trust. And then it's about the journey and the destination. I thought I was clever there. You got to make sure you're memorable throughout that and that you're finding value and selling value as you go. And that is it. Thank you.